Hi all, this is just another attempt to record a demo explaining how Bridge teams are planning to use Google Calendar integration. I wanted to start off by reiterating the types of users that we have that are going to be leveraging this functionality. One is a client, essentially an interviewer who is going to be interviewing candidates on our platform. And they would be the ones syncing their calendars in order for us to see their availability. And then the second type of user is a recruiter, and a recruiter is going to be leveraging this availability that we have in the platform in order to seamlessly schedule interviews without going back and forth with a client. So basically that would schedule for the available slots. So I'm going to log in as a client user, so essentially potential interviewer. This is the typical interface that we'll see, the main part of it being the actual requisition that they created and all the candidates that were submitted to this requisition. But also when they go to their profile, they have an option to connect their Google Calendar. They also have an option to kind of read the description of what we're planning to do with the calendar, as well as seeing the actual view that is going to be exposed to our recruiters. So the recruiters will only see the available slots and not any particular meeting details or meetings themselves, so just the available slots. You'll also see that we have a candidate time here, but the candidate time is always assumed to be 100% available. We don't really sync in candidates' calendars here. So just the interviewer's calendar is synced in. So if I click on the button here, select this calendar. All right, I think this is the part that we needed to enhance here. So I think this is the client ID. Click advanced. This is the scope we're trying to ask for here. I'm not quite sure if I'm doing the right thing. All right, so I'm going to allow the scope. And then the other thing that we wanted to mention is that we tried to replace this URL here to our official app name, which is Bridge Teams Platform. And this is what we have in our console, but we weren't able to do that. From everything we read online, it sounds like that name will be populated here once the app is approved. If our understanding is incorrect, please let us know, but we tried different ways of replacing this to an actual name, and we weren't successful at doing that. So this is the kind of scope of permissions, and then I'll click allow. And then the status here updates to the calendar connected successfully. The user always has an option to disconnect their calendar. I'll touch upon that in a second. Once the calendar is connected, there's nothing else that this user really has to do in terms of managing the calendar. Now it's up to the recruiter. So I'm going to go into the recruiter panel, and this is how the recruiter sees all the requisitions. So I'm logged in as an admin, which has super user rights. They see all the requisitions open at the moment. So I'll click into the one relevant to the user that I just sync the calendar for. So there's senior Django developer. If you click on this, I just wanted to make sure that we're looking at the same requisition. Need to save changes. So senior Django developer, senior Django developer. If I go to candidates, I'll see Jeff Bridges, whose status is basically ready to set up interview. Same thing here. So a recruiter would basically either click a setup interview button here, or they can go into the candidate profile and click setup interview here. And it takes them to this calendar view where they can select the date. So let's say 26, and then the time, let's say 10 a.m., 10:30. Click continue. They can add another email here, which is going to be just the email of the candidate. They can also add their own email just for their record keeping, just to have this meeting on their calendar as well. And this invitation should go to the client or the interviewer who is going to be interviewing this candidate. So we'll say send invitations. This is the inbox of this user that I logged in as. So I just got the notification that a new invite has been sent. So it's May 26, 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. And the description says test for Google. So I say yes, and then this invite gets confirmed in my calendar. Another thing that a recruiter can do here is reschedule an interview. So once it's been scheduled, the status has been updated to an actual date and time, and they can click here and schedule for a different date. Go back to the inbox. Yeah, we got the notification about the change. Here it is, accepted. So now it's going to be rescheduled to a different date and time. Right. As I mentioned, a user also has a capability to disconnect their calendar. So I can go here, click disconnect, save my profile. And when a recruiter tries to either schedule a new interview or reschedule an existing one, so like this, they're going to get a message saying that the user has disconnected their calendar, and now all the time slots become available. So if you, let's say we choose May 27th, we'll go and look at all the available spots. Basically, the assumption is that their whole calendar is open, and it's up to the recruiter to figure out the actual availability offline. The way to check it here is, let's say on the May 27th, we already have a spot that's booked for 11 to 11:30. But in this calendar, 11 and 11:30 is available just because we assume a fully open calendar. So this is pretty much it. Again, just to reiterate this part, we can connect the calendar back. I'm just going to enhance the screen again. Here's the client ID. This is the scope. Allow. All right, this pretty much concludes this explanation video. If you have any other questions, please let us know. We're happy to do this again if needed. Thank you.